less you rely on a label to be a band, the better band you're going to be because of it.
This scene is basically built on punk ideas, you know. One of the most important things is just the do-it-yourself ethic.
I like the idea of doing things yourself and trying to keep things self-sufficient, not letting big money pressure its way into your music and stuff like that. I think that is really important.
Rock, emo, whatever this is, you know, we're talking about, I mean, they're doing this video because there's some kind of thing happening by itself. They're gathering some kind of revolution. If we want it to be really a revolution, it needs to be about forward-thinking ideas, not conservative ideas.
Everybody has to break everything down into labels.
Emo rap,
Christian music,
Screamo,
hardcore, rock or emo rock.
Emo. I think it used to mean just, you know, emotional, like these bands, these punk bands weren't singing about politics, they were singing about relationships.
I think that the emo label is the most ridiculous thing ever, though. I mean, I remember talking to, I think it was Cedric from At the Drive-In, who was saying all music is emotional. I mean, why would you classify just one genre as being overly emotional? I mean, I can understand why no one wants to be called an emo band. It's a stupid term.
There's tons of bands that were in D.C. that stopped singing about politics and were singing about relationships like Rites of Spring and Embrace.
Like the bands in New Jersey that really influenced me in terms of like playing in a band were like Lifetime, Save the Day, Thursday. Those bands, I was just like blown away by. All my friends were like, holy crap, like what's going on around here? Like these bands are so good.
Because a lot of these bands are coming out of, you know, basement shows and really close-knit regional scenes and high schools even. There's a closeness and a connectedness and especially a sense of, you know, that singer represents me or represents my scene, my neighborhood, my same ideals.
We started out in a basement and there were no stages and barriers or anything, okay? There was nothing like that. It was just a bunch of people standing in a room. We didn't have to worry about security because everybody was taking care of each other. You guys take care of each other tonight. Take care of everybody in the room. And there's all nothing but love. Nothing but love. This song is meant to be in a basement with no barricades around. This song is called Autobiography of a Nation.
Where we kind of started off, it was always a really intimate thing. Like, sometimes there were like 5 people at the shows, and it was in a place with no stage, like a basement.
Kitchen.
But yeah, we played in a kitchen once, and it was just like there was no division between us and the people at the shows. Things started like growing really fast. It was just a series of adjustments, like getting used to playing above people, like on this weird stage.
Barricade.
And then like the barricade came in, and that was like another thing we had to figure out how to transcend that. And I think we started to figure it out, but I think everyone at the show really helped us out by giving us so much energy back. Like everyone sings along and gets into what's going on, and it's really fun. We're really lucky.
I was proud that, like, with the...
Hey, good show.
After we got through half the set and we weren't totally sucking, I was like, bring it on!
I caught myself skipping.
Like 6 different states. I saw them in Canada once. Like, they totally changed my life through their music. And for the 3 or 4 times I've met each and every one of them, like, they're the nicest people in the world. And just to know that their music is backed up by just general good-hearted people, it's a great feeling to know that great people can really make great music.
because I would just like to tell you a couple of things. First, congrats on getting this far. People really appreciate Thursday, and that isn't an easy thing to do.
To me, Thursday and what they represent and what they bring to the table and their aesthetic and lyrically, I think really sets them apart from the larger emo crossover bands.
Thursday was definitely the band that broke New Jersey and put us on the map as far as I'm concerned. Started Eyeball in '95 in a really crummy apartment. This is the left wing of the Eyeball compound. This is Mark's desk. And right before Mark and I started working together, we released a record with Thursday. We didn't think the record would even get out of this area. And I remember saying to Jeff, I was like, how many records do you think we should press? And he's like, I don't know, maybe like 500? And I was like, well, let's borrow enough money to do 2,000. And, you know, we'll sell them eventually, probably. Like, we'll just try really hard. And I went on to, like, sleeping in people's cars or houses or floors or garages or wherever. And all of a sudden, that band started doing really well. And we were like, yo, we sold all those records. I mean, I walked into Best Buy and I see a whole wall of my friend on every damn television in the whole place. And I think that was the moment when it really hit me, like, holy shit, dude, this is getting out of control.
This is 331 Somerset Street, and this is where we started Thursday and where we started doing basement shows. We had mattresses placed in front of all the windows down here so that the sound wouldn't get out, and we'd park all our cars against the house so that you wouldn't be able to tell that there was a show going downstairs. I loved going to the shows, and I loved the idea. Like, I loved sort of the legend of, like, the basement show.
New Jersey, like the punk rock and pop punk in New Jersey is just like a different thing.
You're New Jersey, you're not New York, you know. You're not like the Metropolitan, you're not cool. You're not cool. No matter what you do, you're not cool. You're from here. So you just kind of go with it.
The bands that I think come out of here, a lot of them have like, there's like a vibe where they're all like different but the same. Like they're all, like different than the rest of the country kind of. The same way Southern California has it. There's like, I don't know, like a kind of a New Jersey stamp on the music.
Huntington Street, New Brunswick, and it's a basement show. I have them all the time in New Brunswick.
There was a tradition in New Brunswick in the punk scene to do shows in basements and just anywhere that you could find a spot to do one. And that was started, I guess, kind of by the Bouncing Souls and by Lifetime, who lived on Handy Street, and that was sort of one of the original houses that I ever knew about.
The whole culture of basement shows sort of came more out of necessity than anything else. I mean, if you want to have a show at a club, a lot of times you have to sell tickets, you have to pay for a door guy, a sound guy. I mean, it's sort of a lot of expenses and something like that. If you have a basement show, you know, you let in your friends, you take donations, and I think that if people just want to hear the music, that's enough.
This is my roommate Egg, whose birthday party it is. Paulson's been one of his favorite bands for a while, so we decided that we're going to get him to play his birthday show, which is what this is. So he's turning the big 1-8, and that's what's going on.
It's a really big scene here, actually. Lots of kids come out, especially during the school year. The school year is crazy. There's shows every weekend. You know, a lot of bands come out of here, like, you know, Saves the Day, Thursday, like, all sorts of big bands.
I went to the door to pay my $5, and there was like a 14-year-old kid taking my money, you know, and I was like, where are your parents? Like, who's chaperoning this event? And no one was.
So you don't really know what you're getting into until you kind of show up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get here. Oh yeah, that's what I said before, and there's like puddles of water and like, you know, like roped off caution tape and stuff. It's kind of a low ceiling, like when you go down the stairs.
Normally, for basement shows, we run flyers about 2 weeks in advance, go to cafes, bars, local places we know kids of this kind of scene hang out, and we flyer. We just copy. I work at a day camp, so I get free photocopying, just print out 1 million of them.
It's different than a lot of other shows you go to, you know? There's like a real, in Jersey, there's a real true scene, and it's a small state, densely populated, and everyone knows each other, so I don't know, it's really cool.
But you guys get like up front close, like VIP, whatever.
The scene was definitely jump-started by the basement shows in New Brunswick.
The whole vibe was so good. Like, kids weren't watching them, like standing in front of them. They were circling the band, you know, like everybody behind them in front of them. And so they'd have breaks. It would just be guitar and singing, and everybody would be singing it.
So many of these bands came out of New Jersey, the same sort of basement scene. And I think that there really is a sense of community. I think that these bands, when one gets big, they sort of take another one on tour. I think it's almost like a hip-hop mentality where, you know, if you succeed, you're going to take your crew.
When Jeff produced the My Chemical Romance record, everybody wanted to know what the singer of the next big thing has his hands in. And we didn't even have the record out before major labels were calling us.
We got a lot of help from a lot of bands who were doing it before us, so it's kind of like a big brother teaching the little brother how to take care of himself on the road.
You run into people with like minds, and you actually, you bond with them when you're on tour, or meet them on the road or something like that. You know the kind of life that they're living as well as you're living, so you have a common bond.
We love you guys too much. We're one of you guys, because we're from Long Island. We grew up with all you guys. You know what I mean? So this is our last song. I'm giving you my all. I want you to give me your all. Everything wanting is this way. We've got a few more songs left for you guys.
For people that are there watching us, that was like it, you know what I mean? Like that was, there was actually a stage where you're a little bit off the ground and, you know, there was a few lights and a PA. I mean, I think that was really like, if we could do that just for a few times and have fun, that was sort of the goal.
Where was that? I remember playing one, I don't know if it's the first, I remember playing a roller skating rink.
I don't remember that.
And I remember we were hanging out. Yeah. It wasn't, one of them was Skater's World.
Yes.
One of
I do remember that. Right, so then this is what started happening. So I guess it involved from like doing shows at like tiny little Elks Lodges that had like no PAs or nothing professional. We would really rent our own PA systems and bring them in there. They were crappy as hell. Nothing was mic'd, just a PA for the vocals. And then it just started slowly evolving to come into like really bizarre kind of venues. Like there was this place called Skater's World in northern Jersey, in Wayne, New Jersey, that was a skate rink. And they had like a little stage on the side, but they actually had like lights and a PA system. I remember the first time I played like an actual arena, and it's closed off, so even though there's light outside, it's dark, and they have all these crazy lights. I just remember playing that show, and it was just like my mind was like,
See people go up and down. It's almost surreal.
But yeah, it's pretty surreal, man. I mean, to go from firehouses to that, pretty surreal.
I would look up to Gabe, and Midtown especially, I always thought of them as like the epitome of like successful band.
Young bands being able to see the success of, you know, someone who has probably spent 9 months on the road for the last, whatever, 6, 7 years, or some of the bigger acts, just seeing how well they benefited from really putting in a lot of time on the road.
The way people hear about you through this to another person, and they'll be like, oh, we're booking a show at the Elks Lodge in such and such Illinois, you guys should come play. And like 15 years old, and so to us, it's a big deal. You know what I mean? So we were always there, always more than willing to play whatever show we could get.
And there were times we couldn't even drive there too. We'd get Matt's dad to drive us, or our friend Jeff.
I think touring is the best way for a band to promote their music, whether they are playing basements or whether they're playing arenas or whatever. And I think that in this scene, a lot of bands, tour 200 days out of the year. They tour in vans, they drive themselves, they don't have buses, they don't have that kind of thing. And I think that they get to the point they get because they're dedicated to touring, even when they're not making any money.
We toured for like almost 8 weeks straight, and like we all, at the end of the summer, got paid $24.50, and $2.50 of it was in quarters. And we were like, yeah, and we were all like just 17-year-old kids, like sleeping in a van and like not taking showers, stuff like that. Like we just didn't, like we just started from the ground up, and like I think that's kind of why we can like really appreciate and like know like what it is to like be fortunate enough just to play shows.
And watch me. Your knuckles are searching wide. There's no turning back to mine. What? That's right.
things that happened for our band was Drive Through and the Warped Tour.
It's not even a concert. It's Warped Tour.
It takes pretty much all the pretentiousness out of these. On the sit-down shows, everyone knows the schedule, so they just, you know, I'll come later in the afternoon. I don't want to sit in those seats all day. And we don't make the schedule because that's why these kids are lined up. That's why it's 10 o'clock in the morning, because they have no idea who's going to play, and they're afraid they're going to miss the band they want to come and see. But they're indirectly going to get exposed to a lot of other artists. And I think we've been able to, you know, break a lot of artists off this tour. I mean, it has a great track record.
I think that it was the best thing, I think, tour-wise that we've done as a band. Like, just because, like, we were able to, like, you know, play in front of, like, so many people who hadn't heard of us before.
Why those stages are over here and the buses are over there a lot of times, it makes the band guy walk to a stage. So even if you're not into it, even if you're Fat Mike and you like to play poker and you hang out, he still has to take that 40 minutes to walk, or, you know, 20 minutes to walk to that stage. And he's going to shake some hands. He's going to, you know, sign a few autographs. You're going to meet that connection. And those kids will become lifelong fans.
Yeah, I mean, there's been like half a dozen other big package tours that, you know, totally failed to get off the ground or, you know, do more than 2 years in a row. And Warped Tour is now, this year, it's going to be their 11th year.
We just got home from being on Warped Tour. Hopefully we'll see you guys there Saturday. We'll be hanging out, but I have to get out of the way. You guys better go see Taking Back Sunday on Saturday. I just want to say real quick, congratulations to some of our best friends. They were number 3 on Billboard today.
We're going to the Taking Back Sunday concert, and there was 5 guys that rode with us, and all 5 of us put our favorite saying, and this is my friend's favorite song, Cute Without the E, which is on their old CD. But this is me, because I was driving. Ghostman on 3rd. It is my favorite song. Because of the lyrics of the song, I can easily relate to it.
This is me. This song, You're Still Last Summer, this is my favorite song. It's also off their old album. And my favorite line from that would probably be the part where it goes, "The truth is you could slit my throat, and with my one last gasping breath, I'd apologize for bleeding on your shirt." A lot of stuff about slitting throats with these bands.
The female species do not do what they do to males. They hurt us so much. And males
no, it's because of them that they're into these kinds of bands. They give us something to sing about, so they're pretty much keeping these guys in business.
No, that's not true. I've been hurt by a guy worse than...
Just keep breaking hearts and they'll always be good bands.
Yes.
The first I performed here was 2 years ago, and it was more of an underground crowd that followed that scene. We had a nice crowd. We probably had 200 people, but now it's like mania.
Boys like you are a dime a dozen. Boys like you are a dime a dozen. She says, you're a touch, overrated, you're a lush, and I hate it. But these dresses on my knees, it won't mean a thing. And all that I need to know.
This is going to be like the last time they do a show this small, and you know, you're going to be seeing them either in big arenas or big things. This is like an intimate gathering then, basically, because it's in small in a record store, and like you're up close with the band.
Shows are amazing.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Never really did ever quite get that.
Are we going any further?
We had an irate parent whose kid couldn't get in, and because her kid couldn't get in, she called the fire department.
Well, originally when people bought the Taking Back Sunday, the new CD, they got a wristband which enabled them to come into the performance in the store, except that, of course, it was limited and way more people wanted to get in than we would allow in. So this morning, the mother of some girl came and pleaded and said, you know, my daughter's got to get in. And I said, well, you know, of course, the wristbands are gone. She missed it. And the mother didn't care. And she said, well, if my daughter can't get in, no one's getting in. And she called the fire department and police, who had to come down and, you know, prevent us from performing inside.
They're going to move the stage out here.
How the hell are we going to...
We just, you know what? We just do the best we can. We're going to have posers. You're going to have people looking. You're not going to be able to control it.
We're not going to be able to control that.
Really.
And you know, as soon as we start up, the dump truck's going to want to come through.
Walk in, front, and everything swing around.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, it's crazy hot outside. We're totally playing next to a dumpster. So I saw
we definitely can't let that girl in.
What?
We definitely can't let that girl in.
No, she's probably here. We're probably making her feel bad.
I don't care. No, seriously, did we tell the story though?
Tell us.
Basically, a girl didn't get a ticket, and she said, well, her mom said, well, if my daughter can't go, then no one can. And so she called the fire department.
Yeah.
If you can believe that.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
All right, I think we're almost ready.
I was born ready, dude.
All right.
I've been ready since 9 a.m.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Yeah?
All right.
I think that's along the path of what we were doing and what our intentions were, and with like everybody. And I think that that kind of honesty in like a band or like somebody who's like on stage in front of people can breed some sort of fanaticism. And like that obviously is like a bad thing when people are calling my house at 4 a.m. and like my mom's just yelling at me. But like it's really cool on the other hand because to these kids, we're still their band. We're still, like, we're always going to be that band, and they're up there, and it doesn't matter, you know, like, there's other bands at our level, and they're called sellouts, and people don't show up, or people go there and don't know, and because they're just played on the radio, and these kids, like, we've won over one by one, or, like, we know a lot, like, so many of those people in there are just friends that, like, we know, like, I'm really bad with names, but I remember a lot of faces. So, I mean, I just think that it's one of those things where it's like, we're still their band, so they're singing with us. It's not something where they're going there, and it's like, not something like where overnight we decided like, all right, now you guys should sing all our words, you know, or whatever. It's like been like that. When there was 2 kids at the show, that's still how it was.
The extent that these bands, like Taking Back Sunday, or any of these bands that you might see on the cover of AP, those bands were not like on the radar of people over a certain age.
I think a lot of times youth has a better idea of what's good than rock critics or whoever.
It's kind of like the movement. The kids did it themselves without us.
So much of what you do as an independent band is based on the internet.
I think the internet is what got people to hear of us initially.
It allows these bands to come up out of a basement with a rabid legion of fans who are all younger, who share all their music through the internet, and these bands are getting signed and they already have put out records and have sold 60,000, 70,000 copies, which is like completely unheard of.
The time that we were getting into it was the time that really we saw that the internet was really taking shape and really having an effect on all this stuff. So that just made it explode.
We posted songs on mp3.com and like people just downloaded it and it just spiraled.
This was written about the town that I grew up in, New Jersey. It's probably like the towns you guys come from. We've been around the country. New Jersey's still the best state. I don't care what anyone says. This song's called My Town. Thank you guys so much.
Stakes are so much higher on a major label. Like, selling 150,000 records on an indie, that's like amazing. But to do that on a major, it's like, oh, like we'll write you off. Like, here's the money. You didn't reach it. Goodbye.
When we signed to Capitol, we thought, sweet, we're set. They're gonna, you know what I mean? We had this sort of naive thing, like the sky's the limit, and I think we quickly learned, like that's not the case. And within minutes, yeah.
The story was, oh, Jimmy Eat World were on Capitol for a little while, and they got dropped. They're telling me we're making this record, and we're producing it on our own, and we're putting all of our own money into it, and then we're gonna shop it. And I was totally like, yeah, right, you're gonna get a deal. You're totally damaged goods.
The story that we were on a major label and we got dropped, and then, oh no, what'd you do?
We had some money saved up. We knew we could tour and make money if we needed to. And so we just ended up touring, saving our money up, and making a record.
All I can say, Jimmy World probably was at least my biggest influence probably ever. And I mean, that's pretty much what started this band.
It gave us a chance to make an album that was really cheaply made but sounded really great.
And that record ended up being Bleed American and, blowing everything out of the framework and sort of putting emo as we understand it now on the map.
Obviously it worked well for Jimmy Eat World. They went on to sell over 1 million records. Doing it quickly on our own money and our manager's money is kind of thrilling, actually. I'll get paid back when somebody likes this record, but
It's kind of fun and it's kind of scary.
yeah, it's frightening, but you know, it's all good. We like it.
But
We're excited to have a new record because it's been a really long time since we got in and made one. We wrote a lot more songs. We're just basically, yeah, we're excited to get in the studio and make a record, and I think it's actually honestly a more exciting record. We're not pro tooling it to the grid, you know, not all the drums are perfectly on, and it's just basically has a lot more ebb and flow like when we play live.
Can't hear. This one's playing anything good here?
On
the one that he did today.
The one he did today, yes it is. Can I hear it, fella?
We're making the record ourselves without a label right now. Like, stuff's not put to a grid, or things are just a lot more alive sounding. You hear little mistakes here and there. At least we do. I don't know if the regular listener will. Little mistakes here and there, and it sounds good, actually. It sounds real.
That's the good thing about doing our record right now. If they like it, then they're really going to like what they're getting, and if they don't like it, then it's not the place for us. So hopefully there's somebody out there that's like, this is it, this is a good record, and we're actually going to push it.
You know, there are a lot of things in the media that tend to pollute bands, and especially after having been through stuff with major labels and even indie labels and stuff like that, you see how there are like all these times when people try to pressure you into doing things that you don't believe in.
We were losing control. We got picked from the scene. You know, we went on to major label, and you know, we were on a great path. We were making money. We were getting big. We were getting good tours, but we weren't happy because we weren't happy with where the focus was and where the focus was around us. And so we stopped, and we completely stopped everything, and we reevaluated for ourselves what we wanted, and we just realized that, hey, you know, it's very easy to say that, yeah, I'm doing it for the love of it, but to really be able to, like, wake up and look yourself in the mirror and really feel proud of that is a hard thing, and to really take those steps. And really what we figured out is that it's an everyday process. It's something that you got to fight off every day, because unfortunately, you know, the corporate arm has its interest and you have your interest as an artist, and those two interests very rarely meet.
Are on the road constantly and playing shows constantly. Like, it's kind of one of those things, like, you know, when you go to a town and you play in front of 20 people, like, those 20 people go and tell their friends that they were at the show, and maybe next time you come there will be 30 people. Like, you know, that's kind of like how it all starts, you know, just kind of like word of mouth kind of thing. So we just make sure to keep ourselves on the road all the time.
How many songs are you playing? Wait a second. You read that? I'm sure on stage I'll be like,
Jack, here I can see what is that?
12 years later, you're still hanging out.
No. I do too. I hated you for a really long time, I promise.
Yeah, hate love. You had a big crush on me back in the day.
Oh my god, please don't, no.
You would totally make out with me if it was late and I was over your house and you recorded.
What? You're full of shut up.
Let's go get ready to play. Excuse me.
Radical, dude. Yeah. Like an angel.
So, I'm gonna make sure I'm in tune. Perfect. So, on that note, this next song goes out to all you guys for sticking in here with us. And it goes a little something like this. Well, this
Drive-Thru is an awesome label. It's just, started by Richard and Stephanie Rains. The great thing about them is it really is like a family.
We started this record label because we absolutely love music and we love bands, and we just wanted, more than anything, we wanted people to hear bands that we were listening to, that we knew like nobody else heard them.
You'll never hear anyone else ever refer to something as units, and if they do, they will be
We don't drop
laughed at.
records.
And it's like,
We don't move units or push units. We don't treat our bands like products.
We thought we were going to play a couple shows, graduate college, and get jobs. And then we got signed, thank God.
So today, there's a kid named Dave. He's from South Florida. What's up? Said I have this solo project. I want you to hear it. I said, sure. So I check online. I listen to the songs, and I was blown away. I was like, wow, this is awesome. I love this. And so I called Stephanie. Like, Stephanie, this stuff is amazing. She's like, let's fly him out here. I said, okay. How was the flight?
It was good. I never saw mountains before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've never been past Pennsylvania.
He's gonna play the songs for all of us.
Like, if you make it drive-through, like, you know that you're there, because they sign the bands that have talent, not just one-hit wonders.
Either you can.
Excuse me.
I like the whole thing.
These are the boxes.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone, this is Dave.
I'm gonna play songs for you now. Give me that one and blue eyes and treat them in fun. Give me the back and first light and fill them in with straight line. Everything I wanted if you just gave up on holding back. And now you lost so many years from kissing just one girl. You've got potential. Wait for it, wait for the night that compliments you. Ignore the girls that just resent you. Give me the urge to pretend they don't care at all. Now wait for it, wait for what is overwhelming. Tell me that you're not that type of girl. You'd rather sit and talk about your goals. Never lost so many words from kissing just one girl. You've got potential.
Thank you.
If you're going to try and get into this business, you don't do it because you want money. Because,
You're going to spend a lot of time without it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're really lucky that we've been doing this for 6 years, and we're finally clearing a paycheck. You know what I mean? And it's like we're finally not living at our parents' house. But it's like, but the truth was, our goal, we never sat there and we're like, how do we get money? You know what I mean? It was like, I think we knew that money is something that comes with dedication and actually working to build something that you're proud of, and hopefully that will be, one of the rewards, but, one of many rewards which go along with just playing shows that are, a size that you can really look out and go, wow, there's a lot of people here, and build something that people actually come out to see. So, yeah, it's a funny thing, the way that people perceive this industry. It's something you really have to love, and you have to do knowing that there's a chance that it's not going to work out, and it's not going to be, it may not be, this rock and roll lifestyle that you kind of dreamed about.
That was awesome.
You think so?
I think it was pretty awesome.
I tried hard.
So one of the reasons why I had you come out here is to play, so Stephanie can hear the songs also, and we want to let you know we want to sign you to the label. That's my reason.
Hold on, let me get my water. I'm gonna sit down right here. So.
You right, Dave?
So what? What happened?
What?
It's good news, Dave? Well, I'm happy you're happy.
I'm blonde happy.
Then we'll not stare at you. Everyone will get back to you.
So, did you guys like the song?
No, we want to sign you because we think you suck.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you
Go in
can
the
go.
conference room, shut the door.
Here, I'll show you how to use the phone.
Pick up!
Please hold.
Oh man. My girlfriend's at a debate tournament in Kentucky. Everybody's gone. Hello? Dad? Did I just try to call you? Hold on, I'm putting you on speakerphone. Dad?
Yes?
Guess what?
What?
Just guess, come on.
Richard Dodger.
Yeah, that.
I don't understand. You're only there for like an hour.
I know, I don't understand either.
So what does that mean?
What does that mean? That means I'm on a record label. And I'm gonna get my music heard by all different kinds of people.
Everybody. How's everything going in here?
Alright, I think we
Can you calm down a little bit? Still excited?
I'd say.
Good. We're very excited too.
Yeah.
And I'm more excited.
I'll tell you. It's gonna be awesome though.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
Rock on. Welcome to Drive-Thru Records.
If you're still a band and
Just do what you love.
if all you have to do is be in a band, then you're making it. And if you don't have to, work at a gas station at night or whatever. If you're just in a band and that's all you're doing, then you made it.
This song is just sort of about the awkwardness of being in a spotlight, and it's basically just kind of making fun of the posing and the just being the center of attention. It's I don't know, it's just about the awkwardness of people really paying attention to you and paying attention to your band, because before this we were real people, and now people know who we are, and it took us a little bit by surprise. If these branches can hold a leaf, they'll hold convictions. Okay. Okay. And if these branches hold a leaf, they'll hold convictions. I believe this is the beginning of something. I believe that this is the beginning. Sorry, my time. Sometimes I get a little stressed because I just I haven't, I hear in my head how I really want it to come out. If it's not close to that, then I start bugging. But the record's actually shaping up into how I hoped it would sound.
Okay, you all set?
Yep. And if these branches hold the leaf, they'll hold convictions. I believe that this is the beginning of something to start to break now.
Alright, let's do one more.
Beginning of something to start to break now.
Alright. Okay.
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, see, that's the one we should probably use on the end of that.
Cool.
7 of the demos got leaked. But that's cool though, because then kids know the words and they don't have the record yet, so I'm fine with that.
There are parts sometimes when you feel overwhelmed, you just think, okay, this person, correlates this song with this part of their life, and so it has this relationship in their eyes to you, as well, that you actually had the effect on them and did this thing. And it's hard because one thing that I always think is to take the responsibility of being as good as your music, you know what I mean? Being like as pure as music, you know, because music is just inherently, I think at least music is inherently sacred. And I don't mean that in relation to any religion or anything, it just has this beautiful singularity to it, you know, it never does anything wrong, like music can't do anything wrong.
think that at a U2 concert or something, Bono comes down after the show and hangs out with the crowd and signs autographs and talks to them and answers their questions. I mean, I think that's something pretty exclusive to this community. I think that's sort of what separates it from a lot of other types of concerts, because I think the musicians don't really see themselves as different from the fans.
They're just, I think, kids, just like us.
It's Halloween, Florida. We're about to go see Master Romantic.
We're at the tip of the iceberg with how good this costume Seneca is going to be. We have a princess and a Yoshi.
Halloween is the coolest holiday ever. The best.
So who the f you gonna call? I said who the f are you gonna call?
We're not like removed from these people. It's not someone that just hurt us or something. We like, you know, we've gone out to dinner with a lot of these people. You know what I'm saying? Like these are like, so there'll be like 1,000 kids, but we know all of them, you know?
Can I get your autograph on my hat, man? You are amazing.
I think he's a danger, not a positive. I do.
Can you bring us over there and be like, hey, let's meet people for this documentary? Can you bring? Oh my God, can you get us on the bus? Be like, come on. Oh, get us on the bus. The bus is key. Oh my God. Please, please, I'll pay you. Ready? I'll show you my money. I have $42 in my pocket.
A lot of people are like, you know, you went from, you know, 20 kids in the room to, you know, thousands, and people say that to us everywhere, and it's like, we get a lot of questions in interviews like, well, how does it feel to be an overnight success? But the weird thing is, we've been on tour, like last year we toured for like 285 days out of the year, and it's like, I swear to God, we played so many shows to one person is insane. Or like we know a lot, like so many of those people in there are just friends that like we know, like I'm really bad with names, but I remember a lot of faces.
We talked to the lead singer from Fall Out Boy for like 15 minutes, I guess.
We got pictures with him.
Yeah.
He was nice.
He's really awesome. And he has $8 Walmart shoes, which are just completely cool.
So him.
That's Pete from Fall Out Boy.
If you're too important to sit backstage to go out and say hi to the kids, or if you're too important to, you know, to be a part of, you know, your music, then you shouldn't be playing.
Hey, this is my mom, Jan, and she is wonderful. A big fan of Fall Out Boy, but she gets them confused with Taking Back Sunday.
I like the Taking Back Sunday CD. She wants me to like the other band, but I like Taking Back Sunday. And I know the difference. Yes, I do.
Yeah. I think that these bands, just because of the nature of their audience, aren't really going to get a lot of critical acclaim. But I don't think that really matters.
One thing that you realize is that And one thing that I've realized is that there's no difference between a person who makes a song and a person who really loves a song, because I think both of the halves of it are just dedicated to music and just love music.
He signed my poster. The whole band did. Oh my God, Dad, he signed it.
You guys should be coming out in a few minutes. Yeah, probably just about a few minutes. If you want to get anything signed or pictures taken, feel free. They're really nice guys.
My favorite band. They're good. I saw them yesterday. Yeah. They're really good.
This is Kelly. That's Emily. We're exactly alike. Yeah, we go to high school together and we're our only friends. Yeah. And we listen to Thursday all day. I love him. And I cannot wait to meet him. Hi, I'm Emily. Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Nice to meet
you.
You're my idol.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
I love you. So much.
Aww. You make me cry.
He does seem like a pretty regular guy. He's not regular to us.
Been there for about 12 hours.
I can't even stop shaking. I'm so cool. My first show that I went to see Thursday in was at Warped Tour during the summer. And beforehand, I liked them a lot, but that's when I really got into them. And I bought their CD, 5 Stories Falling, where they have a song called Standing on the Edge of Summer, which is about Jeff's grandmother when she passed away. And my grandma passed right before I went to Warped Tour, and that song meant so much to me. That song was the only thing that I had to help me get through. When I found out that she passed, I had nobody at all was with me, and she was the only one, and that's why I got this tattoo in remembrance of her. This is what it means to me. It represents how much I loved her. She was the person who I cared most about in this whole world.
Ladies to your left, ladies to your right. Everything out of your pockets. Let me see those extras you can walk your line. There'll be no running around the floor. Not that hard. If you're 21 and want your ID, if not, you better have an X.
Hey.
Across.
Start our stretching regimen.
See you out there, man. Thank you. This is my neck, Joe. Are you spiking your ears?
I've talked to Jeff before, and his personality, he just likes to reach out. He likes to communicate with his fans, because without us, there wouldn't be them. And he really appreciates us for what we're doing, and he likes helping us. I think that's the bond between the fans and the band, we all go through the same things, so I think we can bond together telling our stories to one another.
When you're playing a show that's really small like that, you kind of are just in it. You know, it's like you don't know when these kids can fall into you, fall into your drums, or like push Jeff into Tom, which is kind of a really cool, it's kind of like, it's right there in your face, so you have nowhere to go. And it doesn't matter if you screw up, it's just like, who cares? These kids are like freaking out, and we're freaking out, and it's just like, a cool thing.
I think one way that you can psych yourself out playing these big places is you create the barricade in your mind, you know, like you make a big barrier, but like I really want to keep this band like sort of sacred the way that I keep music, you know, and not try and pollute it with things that I don't think aren't necessary.
As far as this whole scene, I think it's always going to exist. There's always going to be kids who are going to be playing in basements. There's always going to be kids who are influenced by these bands, whether it's Rites of Spring or Taking Back Sunday, who are going to be playing this music. And I think it's always going to exist regardless of how much money's being made.
Punk rock, whatever you want to call the scene. We have a scene here, whatever it is. It's bigger now, and more people want to be a part of it. And people are drawn to it by the music, and I think that it's important that even though it gets big, it still retains the elements that it had before, the elements of it being meaningful, you know, and sincere, political and threatening. Not threatening like in a like a tough way, but threatening in a way that's like challenging the status quo.
There's so many things in the music industry you have no control over, like will your record be critically received well? Will it get on the radio? Will your hardcore fan base like it? I mean, it might be cliche, but it's true that, I mean, at the end of the day, the only thing you walk away with is being proud of your records. And you damn well better be.
Lights out. Lights out. Lights out.
voice from another room. Happens all the time, but you lean on the sand. Memories falling, counting down days to live. Drain the blood from this valley night. We can rise, the wings of the dumb. These blue skies, getting caught in the trail of all this smoke. We can rise, like candles in the dark. Yours always, and an envelope marked with your new address. If you set the bar in your own house, and the night was a night that cut, and now paralyzed, cross out the eyes, slow all the lines, tearing this canvas from the wall. Cross out the eyes, climb through these cries, pulled all the leaves from the trees that fall. Cross out the eyes, your lies, lies. Cross out the eyes, all the lines, cries. It was the first time face to face, crossing the line, talking to the other side of death, hearing the words that choke memories into flat lines, calling your name, hoping for something to wash these dreams of you away. Till we die! What can we do to put a stop to the common white thing? I'm hoping for something, wash these dreams of you away. Let's drive back. And now I think I'm ready to bust a move.
every